Hi guys. This week we're going to talk about creating what are called components in SketchUp. And we are going to build a set of chairs to go around a table. So you're going to open up your chair SketchUp file from last week. And you're going to look at those chairs for a minute and you're going to decide which chair you like better, how you would change it if you could change it any way you wanted. So I'm just really quickly going to build a chair to work from. Okay, so I didn't build that chair to any specific measurements. I just wanted you to see a chair. So we can just pretend that this is the chair from week 3 that you built in SketchUp. So there is this thing in SketchUp called creating a group. If I select this chair by using the little mouse tool, I'm just going to click and drag until I have completely covered the chair. And when I stop, when I unclick, it selects the whole chair, not just part of the chair or one side. If I then right click on my chair, there's a bunch of options that pop up. One of them says make group. I'm going to click that and watch what happens when I do. My chair is now inside of a big box. This means that now I have taken all the different parts of my chair and like stuck them together. It's never going to come apart. So sometimes in SketchUp, you want to create groups like really often so that nothing gets messed up. So now I have a group. So if I want to move my chair around, it's very easy to do so. In order to go back and edit my chair now, I need to know that I can't simply click into it. Nothing happens. I'm clicking and it just goes away. Okay. So in order to work on my chair, let's say I wanted to make the backing of my chair larger. I'm going to use the push-pull tool to do that, but look what's happening. There's no dotted area, and that's what I need in order to fix this. So what I have to do is go back to my mouse, double click on my chair. I'll do that again. Back to the mouse, double click. If I only click once, it shows me the group. If I double click, now there's this little dashed box. That's what I want. Now I can click onto a particular part of my chair. Okay, so that was by double clicking with the mouse tool on my chair. Now, if I wanted to make this bigger, I can use the push-pull tool and push it up. So that is how we make a group and then edit the chair. But we want to go one step further because you are going to build at least 4 chairs for this SketchUp assignment. So I want to show you a really cool way to do this. If I right click on this again, make sure the whole thing's selected, okay? Selected as a group with the blue lines. When I right click, there's another option that says make component. I'm going to click that and it's going to ask me to define my component. I'm just going to call this chair number 1 for now. I don't need to do any special settings here. I'm just going to name it and click OK. And SketchUp is now remembering that this object to these dimensions is called chair number 1. And it is a component, which means I can copy and paste this. So if I use that mouse tool again, I'm going to select my whole chair, make sure the whole thing is selected. Okay, now I can copy this. So to copy something, you're using your keyboard, you're going to do Command C or Control C, copies my chair. And then to paste it, it's Command V or Control V. And you'll see all of a sudden your chair appears, an identical version of your chair. You can now move this wherever you'd like. Make sure you click down when you want to place it. Okay, and now I have 2 chairs. And I can do this as many times as I want. Copy, paste, place the chair. Copy and paste, place the chair. Okay, so now I have 4 chairs, 4 identical chairs. If I want to change up my chair now that these are all components because I copied and pasted this exact chair, watch what happens. Let's say I want to create a cutout in the back of my chair. Remember, in order to be working on my chair, I have to use a mouse tool, double click inside the group. Notice how these ones sort of are gray while this one is white. That shows me I'm working into this chair, and the dotted lines allow me to edit the object. So if I want to create that cutout in the backing, I'm going to get a little closer here. Okay, I can now draw on this part of my chair because I'm in the dotted lined box. I'm going to push and pull this out and hopefully create a cutout. Not too far. There we go. Now I have a cutout in not only this chair, but all of them. It did the exact same thing to every chair. I can do so many things to this now. I could make the legs longer. Notice how they're all getting longer. I could make this bigger, right? You can do so many things now. And it's going to change them with every single chair. This is a super cool tool to use. The trickiest part about this is simply remembering to double click into your chair in order to edit it. Otherwise, your chair is going to get really funky. But just remember, you can always do Command Z or Control Z, which undoes the last thing that you did, and you can hit that like a bunch of times. There's even an undo and a redo button at the top of your screen in SketchUp. So what you're going to do is you are going to continue working into your chairs. You can either build a brand new chair or you can edit a chair from last week's assignment, however you want to do it. But you're going to build a chair, make it a component, and then create a set of at least 4. You can have up to 8 chairs. Okay, so if you want a lot of chairs, that's fine. It's easy to do that because you only have to build it once and all the others change. Once you have all the chairs that you want, remember you can use the move tool to move them around. Just make sure, see, I already forgot, make sure you've selected the chair that you want. Okay, so once you've selected the group, you can use the move tool to move it around your screen. If you want to rotate your chair, because I'm thinking you're probably going to want to put your chairs around a table, right? That's part of this assignment, is building a table and chairs. So if you want to be able to rotate the chairs so that they're like facing each other on each side of the table, you can do that. and I'm going to show you how. Inside the Move tool, you'll see this thing called the Rotate tool. It's 2 little arrows. If you click that, you'll notice that depending on what part of your object you're on, there's this little protractor picture, and it's going to rotate your chair. So watch what happens. I'm on the front edge, okay? So if I click once, you'll see this is rotating around itself. So it's actually going to spin my chair, watch, like this. So I don't want that, okay? I didn't want red. Blue, we know blue is the up and down axis, right, in SketchUp. So if I click this, watch now it's rotating this way. That's what I want, okay? It's rotating around the up and down axis. So if I wanted to have my chair face the opposite direction, that's how I do it. Inside the Move tool, I use the Rotate tool. So I can now do that to each chair and have them all around a table. To build your table, you simply just build a big box, cut out the legs, right? And then make it look however you want. Ideally, I think your table and chairs should match, but they don't have to. Whatever your personal style is, that's fine. So you're going to use what you learned in this video tutorial to build a set of 4 to 8 chairs around a table. And you are going to upload a PNG file of your table and chairs to the Dropbox, as well as a SketchUp file for me to go into to the shared Google Drive folder. So make sure you're paying attention to that weekly checklist so that you don't forget to do both of those things. Remember, when we want a PNG file, that is a flat image, like a picture, we're going to click up here and we're going to export. We're going to export this as a PNG, okay? Not an STL, a PNG. That gives us a flat image. When we want to save the SketchUp file, we simply download to our computer or device, and then we upload that .skp file to the shared Google Drive folder. If you have any questions about this assignment, please feel free to use the Have a Question discussion board, or I'll see you on Thursday during my office hours. Have fun and good luck.